A subject often considered taboo. Just a few hours ago, a group dedicated to fighting teen suicide and depression tried to help a Johnson County community still healing from the death of two of their own. New at 10, our Garrett Hake was in that room for the painful but important discussion tonight. Garrett.
Yeah, Johnny, there were tears and there were questions tonight from hurting teens and anxious parents, and you could feel in the room the absence of two teenagers from this community who took their lives in one weekend in November. That added a sense of urgency to tonight's event.
How do you differentiate between just normal sadness?
Difficult questions.
Do you have ideas for how you pull them back into the real world?
From anxious parents.
Here's some things we see.
Most directed to Joe Carlin and the professional counselor who joined him on stage for tonight's 90-minute session.
And that looks very, very different for so many people.
Their goal, to destigmatize the discussion of depression and suicide in a community still in mourning. In November, two girls from Olathe Northwest, both juniors, both soccer players, took their own lives in one weekend. Their parents were among the dozens to pack a church here to listen to Joe's hard-won wisdom.
Knowing the pain that we went through, we had to do everything we could to make sure as few families experienced the same hell that we did.
2 years ago, Joe's son Tom took his own life. The foundation he created in Tom's honor has presented its preventative message to 7,000 students so far. When Joe heard about the deaths of the two Olathe girls, he knew he needed to reach a few more.
Even just thinking about it now, it just was like a sucker punch. I mean, it just brought me back to those days. More than anything, knowing what those students are going to be going through and knowing what those families are going through.
For those of you that don't know, I am Sierra's dad.
And in the closing minutes of tonight's event, the father of one of those girls took the microphone and hammered home the most important message. Don't wait to ask for help for those you love.
If you have a gut feeling, if you sense something isn't right, that's all the sign you need.
And tonight's event ended with a pledge from the teens and their parents to talk to one another, to listen to one another, and to act before it's too late. Reporting live in Olathe, Garrett Hake, 41 Action News.
Now, we put a number of resources about suicide prevention online. They include this number for the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. You can find all those resources right now on our website at kshb.com.